Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about technology and society under the unit Society, Law and Ethics. So nowadays we are living in an era of information age. Information age, just we can say that we are making online payment, we are creating a development of our own piece of art or information, just like we are clicking photograph through our mobile phones. So with the reach of technology to our day-to-day life, there has been a paradigm shift and it has also raised specific issues and problems related to society, ethics, and law. So, we are going to discuss two topics here under the technology and society. The first one, how are technologies inducing our societal issue and cultural changes. So, we used to say that technology is impacting on our societal issue and cultural changes. The second is e-waste management. So we are using information technology equipment, ICT equipment. So whenever they are not in working condition, there will be a e-waste management. We used to say that electronic waste is called e-waste management. So before going in detail, we are having two definitions for society and technology because this particular topic is related with society and technology. So society is using technology and technology's impact on our society. So society, we can say that some of social relationship among human beings is called society. So we are social animal. We are living with our family, friends, relatives. And whenever we are talking about technology, so this is a branch of knowledge that deals with the creation and use of technical means and their interrelation with life, society, and the environment. So we are developing a technology to help the society actually. So we can say technology affect the way individual communicate, learn, and think. So technology is now impacting our impact on our thought process. So whatever we learn nowadays, we are learning through technology. We are communicating through technology, just like we are calling through phone. We are chatting through different electronic equipment. We are getting idea through internet. So technology has both positive and negative effects on society, including the possible improvement or degradation of the society. So we can say that there are both type of aspect when we are discussing about impact of technology on society. So I have enlisted some social issue, just like whenever we are talking about technology, how social issue and cultural changes induced by technology. So the first one is identity theft. If somebody is using your personal information and he is impersonating you, he is simply using your identity on the internet, that will be identity theft. Cyberbullying, when somebody is harassing on the through cyber, just like on phone, on internet, this will be cyberbullying. If we are playing game through mobile phone on live, we are playing game just like on different platform through laptop, desktop. That is okay. But if we are addicted to it, it will be a negative aspect. So privacy can be hampered. Hacking can be there. Somebody can hack your data. Health and fitness. So some issues just like health and fitness and education. So both side is there, negative and positive. And we are getting different details about how to keep fit ourselves. You know, and we are getting education in this pandemic time through mobile phones, through laptop, desktop. We are getting online education. So these two things can be considered in positive and negative aspect. So if we are using this technology in a positive manner, it will be positive. If we are taking it for granted that we will study for some fixed time and rest of the time will be passed just through moving around through the different websites, through different contents, so it will be a negative impact. Terrorism and crime, definitely it can be a negative impact. So most of the crime and terrorism act actually involves technology. Communication breakdown. So we are used to keep ourselves busy in communication through mobile phones, through different electronic equipment. But actual communication between two people is less now. So defamation of character is also possible through technology. And we are saying something and we are hurting the emotion of anybody else. That is called defamation of character. So these are the social issue. And when we are talking about cultural changes, how cultural changes induced by technology. So now many people have trouble. They are facing trouble to face conversation. They are not so confident now. They used to chat through just typing some text. So whenever they came to the contact of face-to-face conversation, they don't have words to speak sometimes. And people judge others by how techy their car is. So it simply means that somebody is having techy car, somebody is having tablets, iPhones. So we are judging people on the basis of that. So this is a cultural change. People want to put their headphones in and listen to music rather than listening to another person. So you can see this type of thing in traveling. People are traveling through metros, through railways. So they used to have headphones. They don't know with whom they are traveling. So this is a cultural change, and it has been seen from last 10 to 20 years. Video games isolate all things from the world. This can be another topic. I really want to write something about it. That's why I mentioned video games here. So if somebody is playing video game, he or she is not able to find out that how much time has been gone waste in video games. People nowadays don't know how to communicate in real world situations like personal relationship, problem solving, and exhibiting mature behavior. Because these things are happening just because that we are having less interaction in society now. We are more interacting through ICT equipment. We are more interacting through IT equipments. So ICT is there. So this particular topic says that how ICT's information communication technologies impact on economic and social sector. So now we are taking it in a positive manner. So whenever we are using ICTs, definitely the efficiency has been increased in economic and social processes. It used to enhance the effectiveness of cooperation also between stakeholders. Increase the volume and range of information available to people, business, and governments. We can see different options through internet. We can see online that we are having these option, and we will choose any good option from us, and definitely it is going to help us. This is the positive impact of ICT on economic and social sector. So we are having economic benefit, just like we can say that there is a secure transaction. So we used to say that banks and similar institution could be said to be the sector that have benefited the most from latest development in ICT. So we are using fund transfer facility online, and we are very much sure that security has been a great concern over there, and bank really take care of it. So ease and availability is there. So definitely we are using ATM, we are using internet banking, So we don't have any need to go to bank. So availability is there, no time limit. For example, bank is operating between 9 to 5, but ATM is ATM facility is for 24 hours. So availability is there, easiness is there. There is no long queues. Net banking, as we are discussing here, so net banking is there. So we are doing all the transaction online. We are doing it from our home or office. So the lifestyle of any business is fund availability, and its timeliness, and net banking ensures both. So available is there, and whatever we are doing, that is on time. Global market. So if we are purchasing online, it simply means that we are dealing in global market. We are not purchasing through only through our local market. We are purchasing it. We are getting our things, our object, our purchase item through courier and through different media. So we can say that with ICT now the market is the entire globe. So a small business in a small town can think of reaching to a buyer in any part of the world. Buyer is not limited to any fixed market and to limited to its own market. Now he or she can have access to whole world. So the next topic is e-waste management. So if we are discussing here e-waste, so the similar terms are also used for the same fundamental principle. Just like we can say that this is a waste electrical and electronic equipment, we will say that this is e-scrap, we will say this is a e-waste. Actually, by these terms, we simply want to say that this is electronic waste. It describes discarded electrical or electronic devices. So we can say that electronic waste may also be defined as discarded computers, office electronic equipment, just like printers, entertainment devices, just like you are having TV, you are having VCR, VCP. We used to have these items 10 to 20 years ago. So VCD player was there. So different electronics equipment was there. If they are not in working condition, they will be e-waste. Or mobile phones, television sets, refrigerators. These include, and these things are coming under e-waste if they are not in working condition. They are in, they are non-usable. So as the technology is changing day by day, more and more electronic devices are becoming non-functional, and they are turning into e-waste. We have to manage this waste. We have to recycle it. We try to recover it. So managing of non-functional electronic devices are called e-waste management. So whenever we are managing e-waste, it simply means that we are disposing it and we want to recover it. We want to actually recycle it. So what should be the process to dispose of e-waste? To dispose of e-waste. The first one is dismantling. Name indicates the process itself. So we are dismantling it. So actually what we are doing in this particular process, in this particular step, we are removing parts containing dangerous substances. We are removing easily accessible parts containing valuable substances. Dangerous substances, just like we are having mercury in some electronics equipment, we are having PCB board, printed circuit board over there, we are having switches. And whenever we are saying that easily accessible part, just like cables, copper, steel, iron, precious metal. These comes under easily accessible parts. So we are dismantling it. We are dismantling the whole equipment. We are taking two things. One is easily accessible, one is dangerous substances. We are dismantling. The second is segregation. Segregation of ferrous metal, non-ferrous metal, and plastic. So ferrous metal, we used to say that that is vulnerable to rust. So we are segregating things. We are dividing the things that these uh, things in this particular equipment is ferrous, this is non-ferrous, and this is made of plastic. That is next thing is refurbishment and reuse. Refurbishment means we try to repair it, we try to renovate it, we try to redecorate it, and we are considering that it will be reusable. Fourth is recycling and recovery of valuable material. So, for example, we were discussing ferrous metal. So, ferrous metals in electrical are furnaces, non-ferrous metal in melting plants, precious metals in separating works. So, what we are doing, we are recovering different type of metals from the equipment here, just for recycle these things. For example, we are recovering copper out of it, we are recovering iron out of it, we will recycle this. The fifth and the last step is that is treatment or disposal of dangerous materials and waste. So there are some dangerous materials also in our electricity equipment. They must be proper disposed of. Otherwise, they can create harm to our world. It may hurt human being also. So what we are doing, we are shredding light fraction is disposed of in landfill sites of something incinerated CFC. CFCs means chlorofluorocarbons. What we are doing, we are incinerated the things which can be dangerous to us. So PCB, printed circuit board, we are using you have seen a particular green board under some broken down mobile phone, that there is a green board that is called printed circuit board. So most of the electronics equipment is having printed circuit board. So we have to incinerate it or dispose of in underground storage these type of dangerous materials. So e-waste management, the benefit of e-waste recycling is that it allows for recovery of valuable precious metal. So we are recovering just like copper, gold, zinc, and many valuable material here. Protects public health and water quality. Definitely, e-waste contains many toxic substances, which may include lead, mercury, and cadmium. So whenever we are disposing e-waste into landfills, these toxins can be released into the atmosphere or leaking through the land and have negative health and environment effects. So whenever we are doing recycling for e-waste, definitely it is benefiting us. Third is created job. So recycling e-waste domestically create job for professional recyclers and refurbishers. So definitely we can say that whenever we are refurbishing it, we are recycling it, most of the people are involved in this process. They are recycler. So we are creating jobs here. Toxic waste. Mining produce toxic waste, which are linked with crop devastation and human health crisis due to water contamination. So what we are doing, we are saving our water to be contaminated through recycling process. Saves landfill space. E-waste is a growing waste stream. Recycling these items will help conserve landfill space. So we are saving our landfill also. Otherwise, if we are not recycling it, we are using most of the land. We will fill it with e-waste. Now what we are doing, we are recycling it. That's why we are saving landfill space. I hope that this particular topic has been clear to you. Thank you so much for being with me. Thanks.